Hello everybody and welcome to my first commentary video on this channel, and today I'm going to be talking about the video Modern Cartoon Reboots or Unfaithful Trash by A.S.K. Did I say axe like in the wood chopping weapon and whatnot? Well, it's not really a weapon. It can be used as a weapon, but it doesn't matter. But the point is just that he made a bad video and I just want to talk about it, even though it's like 3 weeks later. Like, it's really old news, but I just want to talk about it because even though I'm not in the cartoon community, I do watch cartoons. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I still watch cartoons from time to time because I can't find nothing to watch nowadays on Netflix or whatnot. Like what I'm showing you on screen right now are some of my favorite cartoon characters, so that's how you know that, yeah, I do watch cartoons. I'm the type of person who likes to get to the point, so let's just watch the video, shall we?
So the other day I had an epiphany. I was scrolling mindlessly through my phone as one does, and I came across this monstrosity, the Fairly OddParents reboot, and it was just as bad as I expected it to be.
Look how they massacred my boy.
Mindless drivel plot lines, flashy art style, and an overt unfaithfulness to the source material.
What do you mean unfaithful to the source material? What? I mean, I haven't seen Fairly OddParents in years. The only thing I do remember was the basics, so like, what do you mean by that? I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I've seen only like one episode, or in this case 2 segments of the new show A New Wish, and truth be told, I enjoyed them, and I feel like they were faithful to the original show. Like, I don't see what this dude is complaining about.
And I realized, these phenomena are not unique to the Fairly OddParents. These symptoms carry on to many remakes and reboots that have sprouted from Hollywood in the last few years, whether it's animated or live action, movie or TV show. And if this were just a one-off thing in media, I probably wouldn't be making this video, but this is a repeated cancer that is spreading to more and more properties, and is only destructive in nature. And so I gotta take the mantle and expose just what makes these properties so inherently bad. Let's go.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like, your opinion, man.
It was originally the Fairly OddParents Trash reboot number 1 that inspired me to make this video, but now they went and made another one. And when it's animated, that's where I draw the line.
I just want to let y'all know, this dude mixes up reboot with continuation like a lot in this video, and I just don't understand. It's like, bro, did you not look up what the word reboot means? Like, some of this stuff that you're talking about is like, they're not reboots. The whole point of a reboot is supposed to be restarting over with new ideas, with new creatives. It's not a reboot if something's being picked up after where it was left off. And it really grinds my gears because people are misusing the word reboot for something that really isn't. Like, I remember watching an IGN review for the video game Hitman World of Assassinations, the first one, before they decided to release Hitman 2 and 3. But that's not the point. The point is that the reviewer, he said the word reboot to describe the Hitman game that came out in 2016, the first part. And I was like, this isn't a reboot. They referenced previous missions, especially the Paris Opera mission from Blood Money. How do you mess this up? I see people misuse this word so many times, and I'm just so annoyed to the point that I just gave up trying to correct people.
I'm old enough to remember back in Yale 2016 when everyone was trashing the new reboot at the time, Teen Titans Go. Then it was the Powerpuff Girls, Ben 10 reboot, Rise of TMNT, the list goes on.
People were trashing those shows. I mean, Teen Titans Go, yeah. Powerpuff Girls, yeah, but that TMNT show and Ben 10, I'm gonna be honest, I have not seen any episodes of these shows at all. But I am familiar with the whole reaction towards Teen Titans Go because everybody would not shut the fuck up about it when it first came out. Heck, I didn't realize they rebooted Ben 10 until I saw a video about it. I was like, what?
No one really respects reboots as an inherent property, especially in the manner that they're handled in our modern era. It's almost a safe opinion these days to say, ooh, Hollywood unoriginal, Hollywood bad. But when you take a deeper look at it, you realize it's not just about the unoriginality. These Disney reboots do more than just rip off the original for monetary gain. No. They actively disrespect the source material while they do it. They have to warp the brand to their liking, whether it's for monetary, social, or storytelling purposes, if you really want to give them that credit.
Nobody respects reboots? Bro, what are you talking about? It's like, there are plenty of reboots that people actually do love. It was either praised critically or with the audience, or most of the times both. It's like, what are you talking about? Also, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen any of the Disney live action reboots, so I don't got no strong opinion on them at all. But I do remember I wanted to see the Cinderella reboot, but I can't remember why. I think it had something to do with the fact I was out and about and my parents, well, my mom in particular, she was doing something and I had to kill some time, and it was either that or, shoot, I don't even remember what came out during that year.
This Teen Titans Go syndrome has only gotten worse nowadays, because instead of just telling unfunny stories, modern reboots, especially in the animated realm, aim to purposely disrespect the original vision. Starting off with the fact that the original creators don't want this kind of stuff, almost ever. We've all heard of how Steven Hillenburg never really wanted a reboot of SpongeBob, but ever since his late passing, Nick has capitalized on 2 already, with both thankfully pulling in little to no ratings. When a reboot is properly wanted by the creators, it usually does quite well, and actually delivers true to the vision. But when it doesn't, it's just a floundering attempt to show what was good and unique and cash in on someone else's creation.
Okay, 3 things. 1, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2003 show is freaking awesome. 2, you do realize Butch Hartman worked on A New Wish, right? Like, did you even watch any of the episodes? He even got producer credit, or was it executive producer credit? I'm pretty sure it's executive producer credit. To anybody who knows, you can correct me in the comments, so I'm more than welcome to being criticized here. And also 3, well, I don't know how to word this, but instead of me trying to word it because I'm going off script, I'm just going to show a video clip from another creator who explained this pretty well, because he does a better job than I can.
For the 100th time, we don't know what this man truly thought of the spin-offs. It sucks that every single time we bring up Camp Coral, we gotta bring up Steve. And what pisses me off about the whole thing is that we don't know what he thinks. Unless someone on the team can come out with definite proof, the most you'll ever have is anecdotal evidence which many people grasp onto and develop the foundation of their own opinion of this show off of the experiences of a person who isn't here being unapologetically battered out of someone just because you feel entitled to hear about what truly happened. Like, even the person who could have closed the door on everything doesn't want to speak about it. Why? Because a person died. He doesn't want to deal with the emotions surrounding it anymore. So at this point, even if you weren't going to watch, you probably won't watch. And if you were going to watch, then you would have, regardless of whatever that tweet would have been. But if you're on the fence about this, and one of your biggest sources of contention is if Hillenburg would have wanted this, you have to understand that you have to become comfortable with the fact that you won't know. And whether you do or don't watch, don't have that be what you think about when you think about him. He's done so many other things that we don't have to use him as this club of morality. So I really hope that everyone who has subtweeted about this and about myself, that a lot of you are holding your interpretation of a man who has passed away's perspective alongside a team who may never fully finish grieving about this man as your morality shield. And that's really disgusting.
Let's give it bright, saturated animation to the point where kids get a corneal ulcer. Why not? Kids like colors, right? I feel like everything I'm saying only relates to reboots post-2010, because prior to that, most reiterations weren't like this. Most were better than the originals, and actually kept gritty tones with cool brooding art styles.
Okay, you do realize Batman Beyond is not a reboot, right? That's a continuation. It takes place in the same DC animated universe. And also that Ben 10 show, I don't know if that's Ben 10 Ultimate Alien or the Alien Force show. I don't know, because both shows had the same character design. So, and it's been a long time since I've seen Ben 10, so y'all can correct me on that.
Now it's just a rainbow contest to see which show is brighter than the rest. Maybe that'll keep the kiddies in their seats a little longer. Let's make all the characters flanderized and dumb while we're at it. Kids connect to dumb people more, right? It also gives us a cheap way of actually creating humor. Stupid people are funny. These modern reboots just go back to square one while ignoring all the story arcs that preceded them. These modern reboots just go back to square one.
No shit.
I mean, yeah, no shit. That's the whole purpose of a reboot, is to start from square one. It's like, again, you're mixing up reboot with continuation, and it's like,
with a cheap looking animation style and much shallower characters. And they expect folks to be all on board and excited when they announce one. Don't forget to force memes and trends, disgusting imagery, and weird detailed faces. They'll often dish the grand arcs and storylines for a slice of life episodic show, bereft of any substance or long-term stakes. And look, I've made a whole different video explaining how being more mature or focused on story doesn't necessarily make a show better. That video gives a lot more nuance than I'm frankly giving here, but listen, part of a reboot is a fan service that you never really have to deliver to the original fans of the old property. You can't just say you're delivering something new for the current generation while abandoning the people who made your franchise what it is by watching all those years ago. Don't ruin our childhoods for your own creative laziness. It just makes you ask, why?
Okay, multiple things. One, it's like, bro, your childhood was probably never good to begin with if you care about it that much. And two, I'm pretty sure a lot of people who grew up watching the original Scooby-Doo show don't really care about Velma the show. They're probably watching something like, I don't know, what's hot now? White Lines or some shit? That Netflix show, which is on my watch list and I still have to watch. I don't know what people watch nowadays, I'm sorry.
Not to mention how they unnecessarily have to, all of a sudden, change everything about the show. I mean, no one wants to talk about it, but the current bandwagon is the whole race swapping thing they'll have to do with animated characters. April O'Neil, Timmy Turner, Velma, etc.
Race swap Timmy Turner? Again, did you watch the show? Because I've seen like 2 segments and she's not Timmy Turner.
Then there's the whole voice actress thing. Remember when Hank Azaria was shamelessly ousted from playing Apu in The Simpsons because he wasn't the race of the character? Because I do. It's almost like actors are supposed to portray things that they're not. Here's another shocker. This guy is actually not an anthropomorphic sponge. I mean, it's not just Azaria. This happened to Mike Henry too for playing Cleveland Brown. Alison Brie literally apologized for playing Diane from BoJack because the character was Vietnamese. Oh, so if a Vietnamese person has to voice that character and she feels so sorry about it, will she donate all the money she made on that show to Vietnamese charities? Or no, is it just a bunch of false outrage for a non-issue no one genuinely cares about? When everything is racial, that's the only thing I can see when watching.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't really care about white people voicing people of color in cartoons, video games, or animated movies. I really don't, because the whole purpose of a voice actor is just to play pretend with their voice. And I'm pretty consistent about this. Like, for an example, like, let's say if somebody creates a gay character and they get a straight voice actor to play him, I don't really care. It's like, big deal, it's freaking fiction. You can argue that it's more authentic if an Asian voice actress voice an Asian character, which is fine, but it's not a big deal to me. One of my favorite movies is Shiva Baby, starring Rachel. She plays a character named Daniel Heim, who happens to be bisexual and Jewish. And guess what? Rachel, she's not Jewish at all, and to my knowledge, I don't know if she's bisexual, but I don't really care. Also, Rachel's character's last name is not Heim. I just wanted to make a corny-ass Heim joke. I'm sorry.
I never saw Blade as a black character, or Cyborg, or Gerald, or Static Shock.
What do you mean you never saw Blade as black, or Cyborg, or Gerald, or Static? Like, I don't get this statement. I don't get it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm multiracial. My dad is white Hispanic and my mom is black. And according to my 21andMe status, I do got some Native American in me, which makes sense if you know something about Spanish colonization. So yeah, unfortunately I pass as black, so nobody, regardless if they're white, black, Asian, whatever, they're not gonna know unless I tell them, despite the fact I have a Spanish full name. And if you want to be technical about it, Spanish is a white person language. It came from Spain, so make of that what you will. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because, truth be told, I don't really relate to other black Americans at all. Even though I don't relate to them, I do listen to what black people had to say because I'm just the type of guy who likes to listen. So when he said, I never saw Blade as a black man, I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, maybe because my only knowledge to Blade is the Wesley Snipes movies and I never read any of his comics, so I don't know if Blade goes through any race issues in the comic books at all because he's mostly slaying vampires. Cyborg, on the other hand, there was that episode of Teen Titans where he was talking about how he was discriminated because he's part robot, but anybody with a brain knows he's talking about being black, or, well, that's the subtext. And as for Static, it's like, bro, did you watch the show? I'm gonna be honest, when I decided to respond to this video, when he said that line, he never saw Static as a black character, My mind went to that episode where he went to Africa and he made that speech about how, like, when he's in Dakota, he's a black kid, but in Africa, he's just a kid. That was the first thing that I thought about when he said that. But somebody reminded me of that episode where Virgil went to hang out with his friend and his family, and his dad came home, and it turned out his dad was a massive racist. And which is weird because I remember watching that episode too. However, what's even more weird is that I didn't realize that was from the first season and that was the 8th episode. I was like, you learn something new every day. But anyway, that's neither here or there. The point is like, bro, your segment doesn't make any sense. What do you mean you don't saw these characters as black? Gerald, on the other hand, I don't remember an episode where Gerald has any race issues in that show, which is weird because I marathoned that whole show, Hey Arnold, and I don't remember a single episode of Gerald facing racism at all.
A lot of my favorite characters are people of various ethnicities and racial tone.
How can you say that you don't see these characters as black, but yet one of your favorite characters is Uncle Ruckus from the Boondocks? That show has a lot of social commentary. It's like, did you watch these shows? Did you even look them up before you made this video?
The black female Timmy Turner is clearly just a cheap attempt to reboot this property without any other significant pitches for change. I mean, for the diversity folks, there must be a point where this hurts the cause more than it helps it.
How is Hazel the Black Timmy Turner? Is that her name, Hazel? I'm making fun of this dude's lack of research, but yet I don't even know the character's name. Oh my gosh. Ironic, isn't it? The point is, how is she the Black Timmy Turner? You didn't say anything other than she's just cheap. It's like, okay, it's like, how? It's like...
And this video isn't just about the new race swapping phenomenon, but it's an extremely prevalent symptom of a larger issue, which ties into the lack of respect for staying faithful to the original property. Maybe Butch Hartman wants Timmy to be race and gender swapped, which is why he has absolutely no direct involvement in the creative department of the project. I find that unlikely. It's absolutely insulting to ruin a person's original vision of a character just because people want to see themselves on screen. These people are too uncreative to create their own original stories, so they need to ruin existing stuff to be able to call themselves inclusive and hip with the times.
Again, he's the producer. It's like, did you not look this up? Also, dude, nobody really cares because the people who grew up watching these shows, they're probably adults and they're probably watching something else.
This absolutely also hinders the story and episode quality, as the main selling point here is the obvious element that's right in front of us, but no one's allowed to acknowledge it for some reason. I mean, watch a single episode of Rise, A New Wish, Patrick Star, or Camp Coral, and you'll see that. Even those shows are unfaithful to the source material. It's not just about the race swapping issue. Being unfaithful has different forms, and the reason I focus on that issue is because it's the most prevalent at this point in time. Maybe 10 years ago, the discussion was about a completely different form of unfaithfulness. Still, some shows suffer from that. I mentioned SpongeBob, there are plenty of other examples. I just despise seeing a person's work be disrespected when they likely sacrificed like hell to turn into a reality. And some studio exec can just demand a reboot of it for ratings and completely change the original character into something just to appeal to the bandwagon.
Not to burst your bubble, but these corporates, they own the intellectual properties of these shows and all these mediums you like media, sorry about that. But yeah, they can do whatever they want with the IP, they own it. Yeah, it sucks that a lot of these IPs are being held hostage by their corporations, because to me, I'm just like, if you're not gonna do anything with the IP, just sell it to another company or give it back to the owner. Case in point, the Man in Black series. A lot of people may not know this, but the movies, they were originally comic books. That is until Sony bought the rights. And in 97, we got the first movie, then we got a cartoon, and we got a sequel in 2002. Did you know how long it took until Men in Black 3 to come out? 10 years. Then the next film, Men in Black International, we had to wait 7 years just to see that. And truth be told, I don't understand why, because that movie wasn't good.
In live action, you could claim that the actor's audition and skill level determine who gets the role, and that would be fair, but it's totally different with an animated character made of pixels, although even that's under question these days when the new Snow White or Ariel can't even sing but are preferred over tons of other actors.
Okay bro, what was the point of saying that? It's like Rachel Zegger and Haley Bailey can't sing? Okay, it's like, I know Rachel was in West Side Story, but I have no recollection if she sang good in that movie, but I'm pretty sure she did if Spielberg chose her. And as for Whitney Houston, I don't really know because I keep forgetting that this actress exists. But if there's one thing, I'm pretty sure these two ladies can sing better than Anna Khan and Swoop.
I don't know. Am I crazy?
Si, tu loco. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm practicing my Spanish, everybody. I'm sorry. I just need an excuse to say that.
I feel like I'm living in the Emperor's New Clothes. People just disagree with this because it's the right thing to say or whatever, but most people would probably agree with these common sense points deep down. When a character is good, race shouldn't matter, nor should the new spin you put on the character, whether it's a gimmicky change in the age, the gender, the design more broadly, or their persona and attitude in a larger sense.
Race shouldn't matter, but yet you made a video complaining. Like, make it make sense, dude. Come on.
Even things like the Lion King remake piss me off because they clearly capitalized on this and it worked by turning one of the greatest animated films in the 90s into a National Geographic documentary with the occasional reminder that it is, in fact, a Lion King reboot. When they're more faithful to the source material like Cinderella or Beauty and the Beast, it doesn't bother me as much. But I don't think Rob Minkoff and Roger Allers crafted the 94 masterpiece with their own hands just to expect it to get a live-action CG remake when it's pretty much 100% animation, but portraying real animals for some reason. God, it's all so stupid.
I'm gonna be honest, this is a hot take, but if your favorite Disney movie is The Lion King, you're basic as hell. I'm sorry, man. I'm really am. Please don't get offended at me. Please don't attack me. Also, I mentioned the Cinderella reboot in the beginning of the video. Does anybody know if that's any good? Let me know.
Anyway, can't wait to see a Static Shock Spawn movie. And while they're at it, it wouldn't hurt to race swap one more movie, would it?
I mean, how they're gonna race swap that movie? That whole movie takes place in what? Louisiana, Atlanta, Georgia? I can't remember. Oh my gosh. I should have researched this. I don't know why I went in unscripted. Oh my fucking gosh. But anyway, that was the video and it's bad. It may not be the worst video I've seen of this year, but it's pretty bad. And it also doesn't help the fact that Air is really being stubborn about and he's not trying to see the other perspective or whatnot. Like, here's some screenshots of another YouTuber by Johnny Two Cellos. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but yeah, it's not looking too good. So anyway, that was my video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe, comment, or dislike. But I would really appreciate you guys if you comment and give me some feedback on what I can do better, because I would like to make more videos, but I just don't have that much motivation, and this was unscripted, and I'm pretty weak when it comes to unscripted commentary. I prefer to write my stuff down. So yeah, please help me out. I would like to improve. Hell, I don't care if you say you suck, asshole. I don't really care that much. Anyway, ciao. Hey everybody, this is Future RJ. I just want to let you guys know, when I was reacting to this video unscripted, I didn't notice this at first until something in my gut told me that I gotta look at it again. And it turns out he edited that video out. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, there was a blackface joke that he put in the video that shows the choreography of Family Guy, of the Family Guy intro. And everybody was black except for Cleveland. He was right. Like a snowman. Is that racist? Okay, but the point is just that he cut it out. Like, I'm not even joking. And I didn't notice this until my gut told me, like, look at the video again. I mean, it'll be a shame if somebody downloaded that video and will archive it, will it? Anyway, you guys have a good day. Go play some Hitman or something. I don't know.